What's today in history, June 18th? Hey, I'm Obulesh. Welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into the rich tapestry of historical events that took place on June 18th throughout the centuries. From significant battles to landmark discoveries, June 18 has witnessed many pivotal moments that shape the world we live in today. Let's explore some of these fascinating events in detail. 1. The Battle of Waterloo, 1815. Perhaps the most famous event that took place on June 18th is the Battle of Waterloo. This decisive battle marked the end of the Napoleonic Wars and the fall of one of history's greatest military leaders, Napoleon Bonaparte. Let me explain you the background of it. Napoleon, after escaping from exile on the island of Elba, returned to power in France in March 1815. This period is known as the 100 Days. The European powers, united against him, quickly mobilized their forces. The Battle of Waterloo was fought near Waterloo in present-day Belgium. The Allied forces, consisting of the British, Dutch, Belgian, and Prussian armies, were led by the Duke of Wellington and Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher. Napoleon's army was confident, but ultimately outmatched. The battle resulted in a crushing defeat for Napoleon, who was subsequently exiled to the remote island of St. Helena, where he would spend the remainder of his life. The victory at Waterloo ended the series of wars that had convulsed Europe and ushered in a period of relative peace. Number 2. The War of 1812, Declaration of War, 1812. On June 18, 1812, the United States declared war on Great Britain, marking the beginning of the War of 1812. This conflict, often overshadowed by the Napoleonic Wars, was significant for the development of the young American nation. Let us now understand the causes of the war. The war stemmed from several grievances, including British restrictions on American trade, the impressment of American sailors into the Royal Navy, and British support for Native American attacks against American settlers. The War of 1812 saw several key battles, including the burning of Washington, D.C., and the Battle of New Orleans. It also featured the defense of Fort McHenry, which inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star-Spangled Banner. The war ended with the Treaty of Ghent on December 24, 1814, which restored relations between the U.S. and Britain to their pre-war status. The War of 1812 solidified American independence and fostered a sense of national identity. Number 3. First woman to fly across the Atlantic, Amelia Earhart, 1928. June 18, 1928 is a landmark date in aviation history. On this day, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger, paving the way for future female aviators. The flight. Earhart flew aboard the aircraft Friendship, piloted by Wilmer Stultz and co-piloted by Louis Gordon. They departed from Trepassey Harbor, Newfoundland, and landed in Buryport, Wales after a challenging flight. Significance. This historic flight made Earhart an international celebrity and an inspiration for women around the world. She continued to break records and promote aviation until her mysterious disappearance in 1937 during an attempt to circumnavigate the globe. Number 4. The repeal of Prohibition, the Cullen-Harrison Act, 1932. While Prohibition officially ended in December 1933 with the ratification of the 21st Amendment, a significant step towards its repeal occurred on June 18, 1932, with the signing of the Cullen-Harrison Act. Prohibition era. Prohibition, enacted through the 18th Amendment in 1920, aimed to reduce crime and corruption, solve social problems, and improve health and hygiene in America. However, it led to the opposite effect, increasing illegal activities and the rise of organized crime. The Cullen-Harrison Act. The Cullen-Harrison Act, signed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, legalized the sale of beer and wine with an alcohol content of 3.2% by weight or less. This act was a significant move towards the eventual repeal of Prohibition. Impact. The act provided immediate economic benefits during the Great Depression and was a precursor to the 21st Amendment. It reflected changing public attitudes towards prohibition and the realization that its enforcement was largely unsuccessful. Number 5. Space exploration. Discovery of Saturn's moon Enceladus, 1789. On June 18, 1789, the British astronomer William Herschel discovered Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons. This discovery expanded our understanding of the Saturnian system and continues to intrigue scientists today. Discovery. Using his homemade 1.2-meter telescope, Herschel observed and documented the sixth largest moon of Saturn. Enceladus, with a diameter of about 500 kilometers, is one of the most reflective bodies in the solar system due to its icy surface. Importance. Enceladus has become a focal point for astrobiological studies. In 2005, the Cassini spacecraft discovered geysers ejecting water ice particles and organic molecules from Enceladus's south pole, suggesting the presence of a subsurface ocean. This discovery raises the possibility of microbial life existing beneath its icy crust. Number 6. Birth of a pioneer. Ethel Barrymore, 1879. On June 18, 1879, Ethel Barrymore, one of America's most celebrated actresses, was born. She was a member of the renowned Barrymore acting family and left a lasting legacy in theater and film. Early life and career. Ethel Barrymore was born into a family of actors and began her acting career in her teens. She quickly rose to fame on the stage, known for her powerful performances and commanding presence. Achievements. Barrymore's illustrious career spanned several decades, during which she won numerous accolades, including an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in 1944 for her role in None But the Lonely Heart. She was a trailblazer for women in the performing arts and remains an iconic figure in American theater history. 7. The riot at Haymarket Square, 1886. The Haymarket Affair, also known as the Haymarket Massacre, was a pivotal event in the history of labor movements. Though the riot occurred on May 4, 1886, the trial of the accused anarchists began on June 18, 1886, highlighting the ongoing struggle for workers' rights. The riot. The Haymarket Affair started as a peaceful rally in Chicago, advocating for an 8-hour workday. It turned violent when a bomb was thrown at the police, leading to gunfire and the deaths of several police officers and civilians. On June 18th, the trial of 8 anarchists began. The proceedings were highly controversial and widely regarded as unjust. 4 of the defendants were executed, 1 committed suicide, and the remaining 3 were eventually pardoned. Legacy. The Haymarket Affair had a profound impact on the labor movement, highlighting the tensions between labor and law enforcement. It is commemorated annually on May Day, International Workers' Day, in many countries around the world. 8. The signing of the International Antarctic Treaty, 1961. June 18, 1961, marks the entry into force of the Antarctic Treaty, an important milestone in international cooperation and the preservation of the last unspoiled continent on Earth. The treaty. The Antarctic Treaty was signed by 12 countries in Washington, D.C. on December 1, 1959. It established Antarctica as a scientific preserve, banned military activity on the continent, and promoted international scientific cooperation. Importance. The treaty is considered one of the most successful international agreements, ensuring that Antarctica remains free of political and military conflicts. It has since been expanded by additional agreements, collectively known as the Antarctic Treaty System, which regulate environmental protection and conservation efforts. Current status. Today, 54 countries are signatories to the Antarctic Treaty, reflecting a global commitment to preserving the continent for future generations and for scientific research. June 18th is a date rich with historical significance, from battles that changed the course of history to milestones in science, aviation, and human rights. Each event we've explored demonstrates the diverse and profound ways in which history unfolds, leaving a lasting impact on our world. As we reflect on these events, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities and triumphs of the past. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical insights and stories. Please remember your subscription and shares make a difference, and that means a lot to me. Let's catch up in my next video. Till then, stay safe and secured.